Hi ladies, I apologize that I am over an hour late. So we were setting up and decorating for my grandson's 4th birthday party. That's tomorrow, and we were so close to being finished. And it's the cutest little theme he picked out. It was Christmas in July, but then he made it into a luau Christmas birthday party. Anyway, so we were getting really close to being finished, and I think it was my son, noticed a stream of water coming from the ceiling and going onto the floor. And so then I had to go upstairs, and so basically it's a big metal building, and then part of it is like, half of it at the bottom is completely like air conditioned, and the kitchen and all of that, and then everything else is just open. So upstairs is unbearably hot. Like, as I'm trying to explain to my husband what's going on, I just have the sweat just rolling right into my eyes. Anyway, so I go up there and walk across the top, and basically what ended up happening is the AC unit has a drain system set up that's supposed to go outside. Well, it got clogged, and so then the drain pan, like, y'all probably don't even care, but I'm going to explain it just so that everybody knows it. Like, it wasn't anything like a family emergency. So then this drain hole here, there's a gap, and it was just going down into, I guess, the ceiling, and so then found a weak spot, and so the water was just pouring in. So then my husband had to go and help with that, and then we're still without another vehicle, so we just have his little car. I had used my son-in-law's truck, but then there was too many of us, and it ended up just being as comical and frustrating as possible on a hot summer day. But I finally got home and got everything ready, and so today we're doing buffalo ranch chicken, and I'm probably going to be a little short on my buffalo sauce because the original recipe, I don't know if bottles just shrank that much, but this guy's only like 12 or 13 ounces, and my original recipe calls for 17, and this is 23, so it's probably going to be a little bit less than the original recipe. Okay, so again, this is wing sauce. This is not Louisiana type hot sauce. It's just a company that makes hot sauce makes wing sauce as well. And use whatever you like. We do like this brand. And I want to tell you on my chicken, so my local, again, we have a small town, we have 4 grocery stores. We have a Super One of Berkshire's, we have an Aldi, and then a Walmart. I think that's it. And so which Super One I think is like somehow owned by Berkshire's. But anyway, there's a sale on chicken breast. And so for, this is about 1.7 something-ish in each bag. And total cost for each bag was around $3 total, because I paid $12 for all the chicken, and then I have it divided between 4 bags. So definitely trying to make the most of this and make this as frugal as possible. Now, again, for me personally, I'm not going to add the cream cheese until the end of my cooking, but you do what you need to do for your family. If you're a busy mom and you just don't have time to worry about adding cream cheese later, add it now. Again, for me, it's my preference. I don't like it frozen, and I really don't like it to cook all day. So what I typically will do is I will cook this, depending on my schedule, either on low most of the day or just high, and then take the chicken out to shred it. I do not have a handheld mixer. I have done it in my KitchenAid before, but it's a hassle, so I don't even do that anymore. And then I will drop the cream cheese in there and let it melt. And I might use like my meat masher or my potato masher just to kind of help. And then I'll add the chicken back, typically shredded. And again, this recipe, you can do anything you want with it. If it's hot like it is right now, I have yet to cool off from being upstairs in that hot attic type room in the church. I have my glasses on, so I can't see what anybody says because I keep fogging up my glasses. I'm so hot. But if it's hot when I make this, what I will do for my husband, because again, I'm not a huge bell pepper fan, I will do bell peppers for him because he absolutely loved it when I made this for him like this. I will probably put it in like my foodie, my air fryer, in either bake or air fryer, whatever, in that thing, so it won't heat up my house because it is just too hot. Okay, so I'll stop rambling. And again, I'm going to be using this ranch for my ranch for these recipes. If you are more of a purist and this is just not for you, then feel free to make your own or find a really good pure ranch seasoning. I'm just doing what I've got. And I'm just going to eyeball it. You want approximately 2 packages worth. That is not right, but in each bag. Okay, goodness gracious, I'm so warm. And we've got chiropractor appointments that we have to leave for in just a minute. Okay, that looks about good enough. Sorry. Okay, so, and this bottle just looks a little different, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of divide this as evenly as I can between each of these bags so that they all kind of have the same, end up with about the same flavor. This is a lot. I think that I may not even use that other one. That feels very saucy to me. And again, if your family is really sensitive to heat, I have a daughter who thinks that bell pepper is hot. And I'm not a bell pepper fan, but there's no spice to a bell pepper at all. For her, like, whenever she lived at home, I would have to get things like mild Rotel and extra mild, and so this would be something that if I made it, I would have to get the mildest, and even then, I'm not sure she would be able to eat it. I'm not even going to open the other container. Well, I already did. That is all that we have to do for this one. I'm going to try to show y'all how I do my best at getting the air out. Nothing like live video and you pinch yourself. Okay. I think I'm going to have to change before we leave. I'm just sweating. Okay, so I seal it up most of the way. And then squeeze the air. And then you can squish it around. If I had another chicken breast in here, it really hurts. I might add a little more sauce, but I feel like this is enough sauce. And each of my bags my package of chicken was like 3.4 and like 3.38 or something pounds. Okay, so then how I freeze is I freeze them like this. You can't see that. I freeze them like this. You can freeze them however you want, and I'll usually do 2 to 3 depending on how full these are. If they're really full, I don't stack a whole lot on them when they're not frozen because I've had some bust before. I'm gonna have to I've already reprinted this because I didn't like it and I'm gonna have to print it again, but make sure, you don't need to use my, you can use whatever you want, but definitely keep track of how many of what you're making and then how many are available, and then when we eat one, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna put a line through so I have a check mark with an X on it so that I know that we've ate one or however many. Oh boy. Okay, and these really do store. I've just been storing them. You can't see. I have a Quest box that I bought for our road trip of the Quest chips. And they just store really nicely in there. Oh, and I'll show you what's on the front of the bag. And again, if you don't like wing at all, like if wing sauce is not your thing, they have all kinds of wing flavors. That's where I got the Parmesan garlic one that I do with. It's just that bottle, a thing of cream cheese and chicken. That's all it is. It's the same kind of recipe. So you have different options, and Walmart has their own version. Now, it's not a very clean recipe. There is that. So I put up here on the top, I can barely see it. It is ranch buffalo chicken, and then the date 7/23. And then cook low 6 to 7 hours, high 3 to 4. Shred, add 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and serve. And I do again use the reduced fat. It's just, again, I'm not counting calories, but I do know that I get plenty of heavy S meals in. I'm not gonna lie, I know I do. And if you're not talking like me, you can get this stuff done so fast. So if you are doing 1.5 things of chicken, you do not need the original recipe amount of sauce, wing sauce. At least in my opinion, you don't. Because this to me is very, 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 very saucy. And again, if you aren't super clean, I'm not obviously, with eating, that sounds weird. Wish I could think about the things I'm saying before I say them on live TV. I'm not on TV. I'll be right back. They have so many sauce flavors, wing flavors that you can use. And you can, there's so many. Okay. Excuse my rambling, I guess. So here's the red beans and rice. I've already cut up my sausage. These guys. Okay, so my husband went to the grocery store with me last night, and it's not always a great thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but he just kind of loses patience. So I don't technically have red beans. I have red kidney beans. It is what it is, and this is what we're going to have. So I've already drained and rinsed these. If you don't care about draining and rinsing, don't drain and rinse, just dump them in. I prefer them drained and rinsed. Now, we will serve this most likely over like instant type brown rice. That hurts. Like the big box from Walmart. I think it takes like 10 minutes to cook, but another option if you really need to watch your carbs would be cauliflower rice. And my tip, if you are new here, my tip for cauliflower rice is you need to cook it with some form of liquid, and you keep cooking it, and it takes at least 10-15 minutes. It's not as super fast. Like, it's not as fast as just throwing the cauliflower rice in the microwave and saying, here. You have to cook it. This is undrained. And I'm going to do a, oh, where's my water? Here it is. Okay. I keep adding some form of liquid until the cauliflower taste is gone. I'm just going to go ahead and do a half. Since I'm already here. Okay, you keep adding liquid, you keep adding liquid, you keep adding liquid. Oh, I ran out. Until there's no cauliflower flavor. Because I don't know what it does. It just, that flavor is gone. And I have a Spanish rice, I have a fried rice, I have an Indian style spiced rice. And when I cook it like that, I've got picky, again, males in my house are picky. When I cook it like that, they actually will eat it. Well, I wrote everything down. So, if you wanted to serve it, if you were really kind of trying to watch your carbs, definitely try the cauliflower rice trick like that. And if you do something like some broth, then you're going to also add in some more flavor. For this, if I was going to do cauliflower rice, I would do probably some pepper mix. You'll see it in a second. It's back here. And then definitely some garlic. Maybe some Tony's, you know, like the seasoning, the dry seasoning. I would do that to really give it some flavor. I like flavor on my food. I really like to, I don't know. I don't like bland food. And again, I'm just guesstimating. I'm just adding a lot of garlic. And I'm doing the lazy way. I'm not chopping it or anything. Okay. And then finally, I've got the mix. So when I went to my Berkshire, no, I went to Super One last night. When I went, I was going to get a big bag of the seasoning blend. And they had a couple of really big bags. But they all were so hard and full of like ice, I didn't want to buy it. I didn't want to try and use it. So I'll show you what I bought instead. Okay. I'm forgetting everything. Okay, so Okay, so what I have is, okay, I bought this. This is definitely a cheat, I guess. I don't know. It's not as, like sometimes they'll do like pieces of ends or something, so it's not always perfect. But I didn't take any time to chop, although my chopper, I really have enjoyed using that this week. And they're bigger pieces. So I will definitely be cooking this until I am satisfied that this is soft enough. If I was doing fresh cut peppers and onions, I would put them in their own baggie and I would saute them first, because I am picky when it comes to peppers especially. And it calls for 1.5 cups. So I'm gonna kind of measure these. Now again, you don't have to crock pot this recipe. Like I had somebody ask me, why didn't you just use the skillet or the stove? I just like the convenience of throwing something in the crock pot, even if it's just in there for 2 hours while I go and do other things. Okay, so I personally will need to open this second bag, but you might not have to. I could have probably made one bag work for all 4 bags if I was paying more attention to not talking. But these guys are, the convenience of this is I am so thankful for these convenient bags. Yeah, you really, if you do this and you get one of these, make it, I rarely needed any of this out of this bag. So, and I do know that this one still needs water. But that is it. So if you have followed along, and even if you just made one of each, you have, if I could do the math, 2, 4, 6, you have at least 6 recipes in your freezer, or meals in your freezer. I have done 4 each time, so 6 times 4 is 24. I may not math well today. If we do any soups or anything like that, I most likely will not add the broth, so I will need to make note. So here I have red beans and rice, 723, cook on low, 2 to 3 hours. Serve over rice with green onions on top. So that's it. Super, super, super simple. Just dump and go. And if you, the only thing I had to do was cut the sausage and then rinse the beans, and that's just a preference. And again, this does not have to be a crock pot recipe. I just want it for the convenience. Also, if you like sauce to serve over your rice, you will want to make sure you add some more. If your family really likes heat, I would do 2 cans of Rotel, and I got the generic for my Super 1. Anyway, that's it. I've got to throw these in the freezer. I've got to get to the doctor's appointment. We have to be there in less than 30 minutes. If y'all have questions or thoughts or anything, don't hesitate to ask or put it on here. You can private message me as well. Happy Friday. Hopefully yours was a little bit smoother than mine.